it really is an honor and a joy. So today, if you can see the title, I titled this A Cup of Tea, because I was like, what spiritual practice am I engaging in today that I haven't talked about yet? And I kind of discovered this I started doing this a couple months ago, maybe a month or so ago. My days are really hectic. I commute for work usually. I have a young child. A lot of things going on. It seems like there's a bottomless pit of work that I can never make a good dent in. And I usually just fall asleep exhausted, sometimes with my child who is very active or slightly after. And I kind of said, there are people who are into meditation, which I think is great, but trust me, if I close my eyes, I will fall asleep. And so that's really not going to work for me. And what is something, self-care is a real struggle for me. I have to really work hard to figure out how I'm going to get time to exercise, time to inhale or exhale, time to think. It's a really big challenge. And every day I work hard at it. I'm like, how am I going to schedule this in? When am I going to get my workout in? When am I going to make some healthy food for myself? When do I kind of not think about work? That kind of thing. When would I go to a movie? Something fun like that. When do I get to spend time with my friends? And so I work really hard at making sure I do that. And I'm aware that because there are limited hours in the day, if I'm doing that, I'm not doing something else. And I'm okay with that. But I don't have any one consistent thing I'm able to do. And so I started doing this at the end of every night. Everyone's asleep but me. I get a cup of tea and I drink this cup of tea and I put tons of local honey in it so it's as sweet as I want it to be. And I like rooibos tea a lot because I spent some time in South Africa when I was a teenager, and they drink rooibos tea in South Africa. So I love rooibos tea, and I was so happy when I was able to get it in the U.S. And, I just sit there with my cup of tea. I drink my cup of very sweet honey tea and, just kind of exhale at the end of the day. And so this cup of tea is my bit of consistent self-care. I have a, what do you call it? A teapot that heats really fast. Doesn't take very long to make the tea. Maybe it's 5 more minutes out of my entire day to make and to sit down. If I bring it upstairs, I get in my bed, sit there with my cup of tea, either watch something online, like a movie or video or TV online, or not at all, just completely unwind from technology, and drink this cup of tea. And it's becoming a spiritual practice for me. And I think the real spiritual practice really is finding ways to be good to yourself, to be kind to yourself, to offer yourself grace, to exhale, right? There's so much said about breath in so many religions, in the First Testament for Christians, and it's in the Torah for my Jewish brothers and sisters, who talks about the Ruach, right? That's about as Hebrew as I get for you, right? With the breath of God. We believe, so many traditions believe that we have the breath of the divine within us. And so to breathe deeply, to exhale, to relax is really an act of holiness. And many traditions get there through meditation, through deep breathing, through yoga, different ways. But, just exhaling a little bit, exhaling the feel of the day, what got done, what didn't get done, a bit of self-care over a cup of tea. Sometimes that's what you can do, that's what you can do. So I'm in a place where that's what I can do. And it's this wonderful kindness. And I like to think that God doesn't want me ripping and running ragged all day, and wants me to have some moments of peace and some moments of calm. And so I think that's what I get at with this cup of tea. And maybe you can think of, what is that one thing you can do every day? Doesn't take much time, doesn't take much energy, doesn't require master feats of scheduling and iCal syncing, right? But what is that thing that you could do every day that would just kind of help you to exhale, to ground yourself, that might, hit a sense other than your brain, right, or your eyes, and that you could practice, that you could build into your life and into your routine. So I'm about an hour or two from going to bed. But when I do, I'm going to get my tea